Hello. Hi. I didn't just say that twice because I didn't press the record button 3 seconds ago. We're not going to talk about it. So, first thing we're going to go over will be the Warlock aspects. Mind spun invocation. Alright, yeah, say that 3 times fast. Okay, so it is the ubiquitous grenade do more thing per subclass thing. Alright, so grapple grenade. If you use the melee part of the grapple grenade, you will shoot out 3 threadlings that pop out. That pop out. They'll pop out behind the target you hit and chase things, which is nice. Threadling grenades. If you hold and consume the grenade, you will perch 5 threadlings. And shackle grenade. If you eat the grenade, then you will get a buff called Weaver's Trance for 25 seconds. Each kill will make a suspending explosion. Um, so you can pick stuff up by killing stuff, which is really good. That's like a whole build onto its own, actually. So yeah, I like this. My favorite is probably Threadling. Not that I use it the most. I probably use Shackle the most, but Threadling seems the most like unique. But yeah. Moving on. The Wanderer. All right, so basically it makes your threadling stuff better. Or tangle stuff better. If you shoot a tangle, it will explode into a suspending burst. If you throw a tangle, the exact same thing will happen after a short delay upon attaching to the target or hitting the ground or wherever. And now your threadling kills spawn tangles, which I mean, useful, I guess. You have a multitude of ways to spawn tangles, so I don't really get it. Yeah, this is like a additional way to suspend. Like if basically if you're just trying to be suspend the warlock, this is that's the way you go. Mindspell invocation with shackle grenade and the wanderer. Then we have weave walk. This one's super weird. All right, so if you jump in air, well you ain't got to jump in air. This is based off your melee cooldown. So yeah, that's important. Oh, you do have to jump in air and use your air move button, whatever that happens to be. You get 90% damage resist, but you cannot shoot, you cannot run, you can only single jump. Um, but enemies don't really attack you anyway. It's equivalent to just being invisible from void while you are in your weave walk state. Not only do you get the 90% damage resistance, but you will periodically perch threadlings. And if you use your class ability when you come out of, uh, well, if you use your class ability to come out of your weave walk, you will spit out all of those threadlings, which is cool. Especially if you pair it with one of these we're going to be looking at very soon. This is interesting. I feel like the only real use for this is like if you're not going to use your melee and you need to be invincible for I don't know something like a white mechanic or close to it, you know, like a bunch of damage somewhere. Honestly, I don't really know the point of this unless you're just using it in PvP to get away from people. Um, it looks really cool. It sounds really cool, but all it really does is perch threadlings, and you have ways of doing that already. So yeah, I don't get this one, but it's cool, or it looks cool. All right, Weaver's Call. This one's also getting a buff soon, by the way. You create 3 threadlings, and you also release all of your perched threadlings upon using your class ability. Strand kills will now progress a counter that will perch a threadling on you just naturally, which means that you will have a way to at least stack a singular threadling onto yourself before you pop your rift, which cool. I would imagine, I guess, if you kill enough things fast enough, you can perch multiple. But threadlings are so hard to like manage in that regard, like because when you deal damage, the threadlings want to go and hit the thing. So if you don't like kill it immediately, then it's just gonna leave. But I guess it'll come back to you if it doesn't find anything at all. So I don't know. If you're trying to build a minion build, this is like how you send them out. So you kind of are forced into this one, which when I say forced, it makes it sound bad. It's actually not that bad. I don't mind it. It's pretty cool actually. It's just the way that you have to send the threadlings out, or the way that you can by just dealing damage, is cool in theory. But I think that if there was a more bespoke way of doing so, it would be better. Alright, so we're going to move on to the melee arcane needle. As you can see, you throw like what looks like an unraveling needle at a singular target, and that will cause unraveling on that target, which is really nice. You get up to 3 charges of this melee. It does pretty good damage. It's pretty good. Well, really, really good damage actually. Let me be frank. It's really good damage compared to a lot of other melees. But the key thing for me is that you can just melee any random thing and immediately cause unravel, which should help a ton with ad clear. So you have extra ad clear just on your melee, which means that you don't necessarily have to go for a threat of propagation to give your strand weapons unraveling, because you can just kind of do that. So interesting, if nothing else. And then of course we have our Needle Storm, releases 7 to 9 threadlings. Oh, I'm sorry. We have Needle Storm, our super, which will release 7 to 9 homing projectiles. I don't know how it's in between 7 and 9. How do we not know? Does it change? Are they not sure? I don't know. But they go onto the opponent, they blow up and spawn into threadlings, and then deal damage to the whatever is nearby. You can also just throw it like on the ground, have it explode, and then have all the threadlings come back to you. I don't know why you would do that, because you're wasting your super for that, but whatever, you could if you wanted to. I guess if you just killed like most things and not everything, or if it died pre there being threadlings everywhere, that would also be useful. Um, this is one of the best supers in the game, specifically for burst damage on Warlock. The only other option that I can think of for specifically burst damage would be um, Nova Bombs, and before tomorrow, like before 12 hours ish from now, um, that wasn't like even a thing, because you need the buff. Um, I believe this does around 500,000 to bosses, so about 500k or so. Whereas I'm sorry, Nova Bombs have been doing about 350-ish forever, um, and they have about the same cast time, so just not really worth your time. Add in the fact that your melee also can double back and continuously deal damage to the boss while you're doing all the other stuff you want to do. Needle Storm kind of wins. So hopefully the buff will make that more competitive, because realistically, this is the only Warlock burst damage super. Um, unless Vortex, oh well, I keep calling it Vortex. Unless Nova Bomb gets his buff. All the rest of them are damage over time or well. So yeah, that's it. Don't want to make this too long. I said I was gonna get all of these out, and I'm gonna be uploading these, and they should be out by like 10ish o'clock or so, maybe 10:30 today. Which is the day before final shape. Um, yeah, later.